coming live from the Big Sky Comedy Festival in Billings, Montana. Give it up for The Struggle with Candice Thompson. Now here's your host, Candice Thompson.
Hi, guys. Welcome to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. I'm Candice Thompson. Mal is not here to make fun of me. I need to apologize because Mal Hall is not here in Billings, Montana, unfortunately. And we don't have a filler for him either. I'm just going to go solo here with my guest. I don't know if that's going to bother any of my listeners. Some of you will probably enjoy that Mal's not here. If you're like me, if you're anything like me, I'm going to take this time to appreciate his absence. He's with us here in spirit. Thank you for joining for our new listeners and for the audience here. Thank you for coming to support The Struggle, where I have guest comedians come on and they talk about things they're struggling with because adulthood sucks, don't it?
Yes.
So I'm very excited to have my guest here today. So I'm going to introduce her. She's one of the producers of this lovely festival that I'm here doing for the first time. You're also a very funny comic, actress, fitness model. Right? I saw you do some shit today that I've never seen, that you look like Spider-Man.
We were at a trampoline park and let's just say...
You were doing an obstacle course that none of the men could do, just FYI. You got the farthest out of everybody. Men were just standing there like, she's beating all of us. Like, you damn right. You damn right.
I wish I would have gotten through the whole thing. That would have felt
You were
way
close. You made
better.
it to those, I don't even, what are those called? You know?
The ball, I don't know. They're metal balls.
Of course, you fell off the balls.
Yeah. Which
you got through every other portion of it, and then you got to the metal balls.
I should be nailing.
Exactly. You should have grabbed it with your mouth.
Yeah.
That would have been
solid.
So plug your social media and any shows that you want to plug that are coming up.
I am Natasha Pearl Hansen, by the way.
Did I say that?
No, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
It's fine. They'll figure it out. I'm Natasha Pearl Hansen, and my social media is at NPH Comedy, not to be confused with Neil Patrick Harris, but
Or
also
Willem Dafoe.
Give him shout.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Also give Neil shout outs too. He's pretty funny and pretty awesome as well. So NPH Comedy, and you can find all my shows on Instagram and Twitter and all that shit.
Fantastic. Yeah, I can't believe I didn't. I was so intrigued
by the ball. We got distracted.
Absolutely. I was so fascinated by that. And I was just like, I couldn't even say your name properly. I was like, I'm sitting next to an athlete, like a professional athlete.
I was just talking about that with somebody here yesterday. I said, because I'm 33 and I'm totally fine with voicing my age. I don't care.
Yeah.
I am better at everything athletic now than I was
Than you were
10, 15 years ago.
But are you training more now? Like, do you spend more time working out more than you did then? Or is it the same and you're just physically better now? I
don't know. Maybe. I think it's just I'm competitive, but against myself, not against really other people.
But that's how it should be.
So I just kind of, I started doing Muay Thai like 3.5 years ago, and that's kind of kicked it up a notch.
Look at you.
But
I think they have Muay Thai here at the restaurant.
You
can get it on spice level from 1 to 10.
Yeah, Muay Thai and chicken. By the way, shout out to Mia's Walk for
hosting us today.
Mia's Walk here in Billings, Montana. They're two gentlemen in the back in winter coats, and
they're pretending not to see us and listen to us right now.
Not sure if they knew that this was going to happen. But
they didn't. Shout out to red coat, black beanie. And he's wearing, how would you describe the maroon? That's more of like a bubble, kind of a bubble adjacent coat.
Bubble adjacent is good.
Because it's cold here, which I've gotten some pushback from the winter hat that I'm wearing right now. It's very polarizing. Some people are saying that this weather is not appropriate for this hat that I'm wearing. And I disagree. I think I'm cold and I feel like this is I'm still like, I'm wearing it inside just to, spite Nick at this point because he made fun of me for wearing it. So you know what? Fuck you. I'm just going to keep this on the rest of the show, even though we're inside.
Well, and if you have a hat on, this is a trick I used to use when I used to be a smoker.
Oh.
Because I lived in Wisconsin growing up.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a hat
on, we're talking about meth, right?
Yeah. If somebody steals your coat and you have a hat on, you're still warm when you go outside, at least for 10 minutes.
At least it's all about you can produce enough warmth in your head right?
Yeah.
It's like the thermostat of the body. I don't know if there's any truth to that.
There's a lot, it's like the whole mental game thing. Whatever you tell yourself
is
it's
what is real.
It is. That's why the head is so important, guys.
I'm freezing here. How are you dealing with the weather? Because it's probably you guys, I don't know if you saw, I saw snow this morning. I had to do radio this morning, so I was up at 6:45.
Oh, yeah.
And I was outside walking at 8 o'clock, and there were snowflakes.
Yeah.
And Nick is over there gaslighting me, telling me there was no snow. And I'm like, maybe there wasn't snow. Yes, there was snow. You saw snow, damn it. Don't let someone tell you.
It didn't stick, by the way.
It didn't stick. It's now turned into just rain. But
I think I'm okay because my Chicago bones.
See, the LA weather didn't make you into a pussy?
No.
It did that to me 100%.
Now, if
Within the first 6 months.
If it was windy here, then it would be different.
It was
cold
windy.
wind sucks.
It was windy yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you feel it after? It was like after we had dinner and we were walking back to the hotel. There was a brisk. I was like, when did this happen?
Yeah, that's when I don't like winter anymore.
Well, thank you. I'm sorry. This has turned into the weather podcast. Byron Allen has also purchased this. So we're just going to be talking about the climate change across the country.
I would prefer comedy weather people.
That's actually not a bad idea.
They're wrong a lot of the time anyway, so you might as well be wrong and funny.
It's most of the time. I've very rarely seen an accurate weather what do you call it? Prediction.
Do you want the Snapple cappiest thing I could possibly say right now?
Yes, please.
So there's this app called Curiosity that I use every day. It sends you facts about
random things,
science, and
I would love that.
nature, and people, and whatever, tech.
Yeah.
So I got a thing one day, a pop-up that said, why is the weather always wrong? And of course I clicked on it because I was like, yeah, why the fuck is the weather always wrong? So here's how they predict percentage of rain, for example. They take the percentage that it's going to rain, period, in that city, across the entire city. So there's 20% chance that it will rain somewhere.
Right, by the beach, let's say, for example.
Mm-hmm. And then they take the amount of coverage they think it's going to rain over. So say that's 80%. And then they average the two. So you'd get 60% chance of rain.
That's so inaccurate.
So that's why it will rain in one part of the city and then not ever in the other.
Just say it might rain every day.
Yep.
And we'll be fine. Just say every day it could rain.
Yep.
And we'll be like, okay, maybe it will. Because I feel like that's weather.
On your toes, people, on your toes.
Because it might rain.
Be prepared for anything. Cavemen didn't have a weather channel.
We're all just shooting in the dark. The only thing we need to really be concerned with, if it's just regular ass rain, I don't need to know about that, right? I need to know if there's a hurricane coming or some huge tropical storm. Mm-hmm. And earthquake heads up would be good, but I know that doesn't exist.
Yeah, that's the only thing we have to deal with where we live, and that's the only thing you can't get a heads up for.
Exactly. And I am petrified because it's been so long since the last one, the last big one, that I'm like, I feel like it's any moment.
Have you been through an earthquake?
Just mild ones.
Mild ones.
The last big one in LA was the Northridge one, which was in, I think, 94.
A lady was telling me about that, and she said a crack occurred in her backyard that they tried to fill, and she's like, we got a dump truck of dirt and dumped it in, and it just disappeared. She's like, the crack was straight up. It was really fucking deep. I was like, I would have loved to see that. I didn't believe that was actually a thing.
I heard that was awful. It was one of those ones where it's, because we've all felt the rolling earthquakes where it's just kind of oh, this is fun. You're like, it's like a wave.
Yeah, you see a chandelier and you're like, why is that moving? Oh, it's an earthquake.
Right, but this is the one where it's jerk. You just were it's like you're having your whole house just
yeah.
It's flinching.
Yeah, I haven't been through one of those.
Yeah, no, me neither. Thank God. But I feel like something's going to happen. If my weather predictions, can I tell you something silly?
Yes.
Before we get into the struggles, is that back in, I think it was 2011, my friend, who's actually been on the podcast, Ian Edwards.
I love him.
He's such a ridiculous person, just in life about everything. He's not a conspiracy theorist at all. But he is a person that he's paranoid. Paranoid is a good word for him. He called me and was like, Candice, I was watching a video of this guy that makes earthquake predictions. And he's saying that a huge earthquake is gonna hit in Southern California. He was like, you need to drive to Palm Springs. And I did.
You're like outrunning the earthquake?
I did.
You did?
I went inland. I went to I did.
Did anything happen at all?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He was so concerned because he was going to be in New York. He was going to be in New York for like comedy stuff. He was like, if I were you, I would just leave the city. He was like, get a hotel, I'll pay for it. And I was like, are you serious? And he was like, Candice, I'm dead serious. Watch this video. And he made me watch, because there's like an earthquake ring, apparently, that this guy was predicting. It was going to hit here, here, here. And I think like a couple of the places where he predicted, actually it hit. And he was like, we next.
Really bad?
It was bad.
Oh, shit.
And so I was like, oh. And you know what's fucked up is that I left and I didn't tell my roommate.
You just left her behind to
100%. I was like, first of all, she's not going to do anything. She's going to look at me like I'm crazy. So now I risk her looking at me like I'm crazy by telling her this. So I was like, I'm just not going to tell her. I was like, I honestly don't think this is going to happen. And it didn't, obviously. But I got to spend a weekend in Palm Springs.
That's actually
free.
That's actually awesome.
Free. It was nice. I had one of my friends meet me down there. I was like, we just kicked it in Palm Springs.
I wish more of my friends would call me with concerns like that and offer to pay for me to take a vacation.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Why not?
Exactly.
I'm no fool. So I guess we can get into why we came here today, which is for struggle purposes. And so since I've been in Billings, I've had a couple of struggles. The main one is with just being a vegetarian options.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you saw me last night.
Oh, she was starving and this pizza took forever. The one easiest pizza you can make with nothing on it took like an hour. And Candice looked so sad at the table, you guys. Everybody was getting their food and she was just like,
Everybody was eating. Everybody was eating and... multiple pizzas were coming out.
Yeah.
Just like everything had meat on it. And then I saw one meat pizza disappear quickly. And then another one came out to take its place. Meanwhile, I'm sitting here like, where is the vegetarian pizza? And she was like, oh, I'll put it in now. Put it in, bitch. Put it in. It should have been in. It should have been in. Why are these other pizzas ready? And mine, you just putting it in.
They're trying to drive. That's why there's no vegetarians here in Billings, because they push them out.
I'm telling you, I came not to Billings, but it's so funny. A year ago, because I got into this festival last year. I got into Big Sky last year, but I couldn't go because I had a road date that was a conflict. However,
yeah, that's right.
The road date was also in Montana. It was in Great Falls.
Yeah.
So my goal was, I was like, I can go to Big Sky, I'll rent a car, I'll drive up to my road gig and then just come right back. But the way that this festival works is it's a competition, and the day I was going to miss was a competition day. Yeah. So I wouldn't have been able to.
Yeah, because I was here last year and I was like, damn it, Candice isn't here. And then this year I saw you were here and I was like, yes,
Yay,
Candice is here.
I'm here representing. But yeah, so I knew from Great Falls, I was like, driving miles to find a veggie burger. And I was like, this is going to be terrible because no one's ordered this.
That's why all the vegetarians here are just eating carbs this week. They're the only thing that we can eat is bread.
I'm going to be 17% dough when I fly back to LA. So yeah, I've just been eating carbs. But actually in that veggie burger, shout out to that place, which I don't remember what it's called, but it actually was a really good black bean burger. Shout out to that place, whatever it was called. But they made a good vegetarian. I was like, you guys held it down. And I know you don't normally do this. So yeah, but I'm just like, this is day 2. So I know that this is just what's going to be expected for the rest of the time here. It's just going to be, I'm going to have to just suck it up and eat carbs the whole entire time.
You need to protein cookie it up. That's what I do when I travel, just in case.
Protein cookies.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good idea.
Just in case. Because I can't do dairy. So that's hard in states like this
too. I'm so sorry.
I know.
Like when I hear people say they don't do dairy, part of me is just like, just end it.
I know.
Just walk into traffic and just get it over with. Because I want to give a shout out to a vegan ice cream I discovered.
Ooh.
Do you know about Van Leeuwen?
No.
Game changer. Like what? I do non-dairy. I do all ice creams. I don't discriminate, but I do non-dairy ice cream a lot just to try and be better. Because I know it's healthier, but the ones that you get like at the store, like the So Delicious or like the Nadamu, those are all good because they're made with like coconut milk. I don't promote the ones that are made with soy because soy is like genetically modified and Monsanto sucks.
And it smells. The factory.
It's not right. No, I haven't, but I don't. Bad. I'm good. I'll put that on my calendar, on my bucket list.
Put that on your shitty to-do list because you have to have that.
I started having a Kavanaugh calendar after I watched the Kavanaugh hearings. So I'll put that on there. But Van Leeuwen, and they sell it at Whole Foods, at least in LA. I can't speak for other cities, unfortunately, but I think it was made in Brooklyn. So if anyone's looking for a delicious vegan ice cream, this one is hands down the best I've ever had. They had a cookie dough one that I had, and it was
Is it made with cashews?
It's made with cashew milk, and they have, I think, coconut milk and like coconut oil, and also I think cocoa butter is in there too. And it's they got a little salt sprinkled in there, so it's a little savory too. It just gives it that pop of flavor. It's so good.
Dang.
And it's a little expensive, but it's delicious.
People are getting really good at that vegan
They're
stuff.
we're getting to the point now. Yeah, no, you have to be. Except in Montana, they like, fuck you. Well, they're like, no, we don't do vegan anything here.
I get it, because growing up in Wisconsin, like, there's just so many deer. Like, why do you think people eat deer? There's just like, they're like, we just have to get rid of this
population control.
Buffalo.
Elk.
Yeah.
Have you had any of that?
Yeah, I agree.
You've had venison.
I raised elk at one of the farms I worked at growing up.
Oh, wow. And you like elk meat?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I've never had it. My nephew eats it.
They love to eat apples.
Oh.
And then we love to eat them.
And we eat them. You sons of bitches. That's just so, I know. I just feel bad for animals.
I know. And I get it, because a lot, I understand the way that I saw animals being treated growing up was so nice. Like, these were free range.
Yeah.
And they lived a really awesome life.
Yeah.
And then, and then it was done. And then the whole thing got you, like, literally all the buffalo was used.
Right.
So,
but that's the way to do it, though. I'm fine with that, as opposed to, the mass.
That's where it's a problem.
Right. Where you were just killing, and the way they do it. That's obviously the problem I have with the most. But if you're hunting it and it's for yourself, then that's fine. I also don't like seeing their heads hung places. Like, I don't like keeping it
I don't
as
like
a
that
trophy.
either.
Yeah. That bothers me.
I agree.
I'm still stuck on you can't, how do you live without cheese?
Well, I had dairy my whole life. Like,
you were in
religiously.
Wisconsin.
And so I think at just some point my body just started rejecting it. But I still do cheat. Like, I can't live without brie cheese and like,
so you'll
Parmesan. And so I'll still just make the exceptions for the right stuff.
And that's how I feel. Like, whenever I hear people, they're just like, I'm lactose intolerant. And I'm like, we all are. Just fight through it. Nobody feels good after they eat 6 slices of pizza. But we do it. Because it's the American thing to do.
You know what I used to do is I would let my pizza get cold and then I would eat it, because it feels way less bad for you if it's cold. It feels just like a really delicious.
Well, it's not as greasy, that's for sure, because the grease just gets reabsorbed.
When it doesn't string away from your mouth, it feels like it's less bad for it. It feels more like a vegetable.
For some reason, right.
Like, oh, this is just a carrot stick.
Sure, whatever you have to tell yourself, Natasha, to get you through the night. Whatever you have to tell yourself. All right, so yeah, that was my struggle. That's my struggle here is finding vegetarian stuff. My struggle today was at the trampoline park also, because I really wanted to. Like when you in your head you think you're more fit than what you are, and then the truth rears its head.
I was videoing Candice she didn't know anybody was videoing her, but she was trying out a little bit of her old gymnastics moves.
Shut up.
I loved it. If it makes you feel better, though, like I talked to you about this on the way in, though, like I had to stop jumping because I was peeing on myself.
Getting older, ladies and gentlemen.
Every bounce, I was like, okay, I gotta stop.
And you know what? I kind of felt bladder-y a little bit when I was jumping, but I didn't feel like I was going to pee, but I was more aware of my bladder than I normally am during the day. And I didn't think about that. And then you said that. And you know what? Kira and another one of the comics here, Kira Sultanovich, who was on the podcast not that long ago, she's here. She has kids. And then there's another comic who is here who has a kid. And they did not jump on the trampolines at all because they were like, we're going to pee on ourselves. And what was so interesting is that the trampoline park was mandatory. The comics were not given an option whether or not they should go to or could go to the trampoline. They were said, you have to go. It's a networking thing. And Kira was like, but I can't even jump. They were like, we don't care.
That's why she was podcasting.
She had her laptop and she was sitting there. But yeah, she couldn't because she was going to pee on herself. And I'm just like, is this what
this is what our lives become.
Why do we have all these health things to keep us living longer if this is what we have to deal with? Like
I know.
Wetting ourselves, we can't jump on I don't want to live in a world where I can't jump on a trampoline.
Exactly.
And not eat cheese.
Man. We have it rough, us women. There's a lot going on down there.
And I knew, and I didn't want to, and I couldn't. This was my struggle with the trampoline park, because I wanted to go harder. I wanted to like try and do flips and stuff.
Yeah.
But I can't. I got to keep I don't know why this month I've decided to do the craziest thing, not the craziest things, but the most physically active things. And I'm taping something at the end of the month where I have to dance for a television show. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I can't injure myself because then I won't be able to tape the show. That's a paycheck. That's a credit gone. Like all these things.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't, this is not the month to try risky things. Here I am. I joined a volleyball league and I started playing volleyball like a week ago. Here I am drunk, but I wanted to try and flip see if I could still flip.
And you probably could. I'm
sure I can. I just didn't want to risk it because people were legit. Someone sprained their finger.
Today?
Yes. Someone playing dodgeball at the trampoline park. It was swollen. It was completely, he sprained his finger and then another guy twisted his ankle. And I'm like, I can't.
It's not a joke. I mean, and you think about that more when you're older because you pay for your own health insurance every month. Like, I pay for that. And so I'm like, okay.
Some of the people here can't even afford health insurance.
Yeah.
We're comics.
I know.
It's like, that's a whole, do I even have it? Yeah. Oh, Jack got bit by a spider.
When?
Yesterday,
just like out in the world.
He doesn't know when it happened. He was like, it could have happened on the plane here. So there's a comic, Jack Jr. He's here at the festival, and he got bit. He doesn't know when. He said it could have happened in the hotel. It could have happened he doesn't know exactly when it happened, but he did notice it at some point yesterday, and it's gotten bigger since yesterday. We took him to urgent care.
Is it good?
No, we don't know. We dropped him off because the rest of us had to go to CVS. We had stuff to do. It was literally, this was right after Blaze. After we ate pizza at Blaze, after we left the trampoline park today, we went and got Blaze pizza. And the next thing you know, I hear mumblings about someone getting bit by a spider. And I was like, who?
Did it have
I didn't see it. And no, he didn't show any of us, but he said it's getting bigger. And he said, and his legs started feeling numb.
Oh, shit.
So we're like, oh, yeah, you probably got bit by a spider.
Brown recluses are out here. They're in California, too. And I had one in my shower like a couple weeks ago.
I've seen black widows in my backyard.
Yeah.
And I take them out because I'm just like, I can't have you.
I can't get rid of those.
I would love to keep you alive, but I can't have you this close to my apartment because you could very well, because I see spiders in my apartment and they will come up in there and I'm just like, I can't risk this. You got to die. I'm sorry.
Oh, for sure.
It's me or you, son.
When it's a cool spider, like with the ones with their like little tunnels and shit. I'm like, okay, cool. You perch outside. Right. You keep bugs out of my house. But the second you come inside,
it's a wrap.
It's done.
It's a wrap. And I don't know why they think they're safer inside.
I don't know.
Like, I'm going to kill you.
Especially we live in California. It's like,
you're going to die.
You're fine outside.
Yeah, no, do that.
You should know you're a spider. You have instincts. Like, I
called a fly an idiot the other day. It came in my house and I was like, you idiot. Yeah, I'm going to kill you. Like, of course flies are idiots. One time I saw a fly like on a 10th floor and I was like, this means you got on an elevator. You got on an elevator and came up.
Yeah, they don't fly that high,
do they? You stupid. No, and there's no windows that open. It was just at an office building where I used to work, and none of the windows, because we're up so high, none of the windows opened, because people would jump out of them, of course. So none of the windows open. They were just like these, how you just can't open them. So I'm like, there's no way for this fly to have gotten in here besides through the front door on the first level, waiting for an elevator, and then boom, going up. I was like, you stupid.
A fly's journey, guys.
Yes, a fly's journey. Oh, I could document that on my Instagram stories. Mm-hmm. All right, now let's do what we came here for, right?
Yes.
Natasha, what are you struggling with?
Oh my goodness. This is something I'm creating something out of because it's been like a 1.5 year long struggle, but being engaged.
This is a good one. We have never had anyone in a successful relationship on this podcast. I'm kidding.
It sounds like the weirdest thing to complain about. And I've talked about it on my podcast and I've talked about it. I talk about it on stage and I'm writing a one-woman show and a Instagram series and a book called Diary of a Bad Fiancee.
And you're the bad fiance?
Yeah, and it's all about just sucking at this part of your life. It's been so weirdly but it feels like I'm in purgatory. You know what I mean?
Right, in just anticipation of the actual event happening.
And I don't want to plan it. Like I could stay here, but I don't really want to be like a wife yet. you know.
Does he know this?
Yeah, we've talked about it. We were supposed to get married originally the weekend of JFL. Candice and I were both at Just for Laughs this year.
Yeah.
We canceled that date in March because I was like, it's too soon. And we got engaged last May.
I mean, you guys have also been together for a while.
We've been together for 7 years.
Yeah.
Over 7 years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's just maybe timing too. Like, I want, like, before getting married, I wanted to just have a couple other things kind of done.
And I feel like that's normal.
And I also don't know how much I really believe in marriage half the time.
Oh, shit. These are serious concerns. I should be a therapist.
Yeah,
like, I don't know if this is.
I know.
This is heavy.
No, it is.
But he's aware of all your concerns.
Yep.
Does he share the concerns? Or?
Yeah, I mean, he probably shares them because I vocalized it all.
Yeah, and he was like, whew, thank God someone said it.
Yeah, and then he was like, oh shit, well, I guess I'm worried about that too now.
Now that you said it, right?
But I watched my parents are still together. I know yours are too because you talk about that in your stand-up.
Yeah.
But my parents have had a really rough last number of years and they're super not happy.
Oh, wow.
Which is interesting to see at this age because I'm
like, why do you even care at this point anymore?
I'm removed from the situation. So when I go back and visit them in Wisconsin, I'll hang out with each of them individually. And it's just like, I'm kind of coaching them through where they are.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just wonder why people stay if they're not necessarily fully happy.
Committed and happy.
Yeah. Because I get like committing to someone and that whole thing, but like you kind of just can stop.
Right.
Too.
And absolutely. That's the beauty of it. Nothing is permanent.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't have to be.
Exactly. I think what it is with a lot of people is that it's a comfort thing. Like, yes. And it's also like, what am I going to do being 65 out in the dating world?
Exactly.
Just stick it out at this point.
I think that's why so many people own boats, you guys. Like, they're like, I don't have a partner.
Get hobbies.
I'm just going to name this boat Sheila and go.
Sheila. We got to get back to Sheila Defoe. It keeps coming back.
It keeps coming back.
Put a pin in that.
Keeps coming back.
We'll discuss that at the end of the podcast. But you're right. And I think that it's important to just get a hobby. Even if you I would could still be married, but just live in separate places. 100%. Like, I don't have to see you every day, but I get my place. You could stay here. The paperwork's going to be a bitch to fill out. So let's just live our lives and we don't have to be together.
That's what I feel like. I already feel like I kind of have two lives, which is really weird. I have like my home life, my relationship, like the things that I do kind of on a daily when I'm in LA, but I travel all the time and I do it always by myself.
Yeah.
Because for the last 7 years, he worked like crazy. So I just got used to like having this comedy, travel, road life, like all my happiest things by myself.
Right.
So then that's what I've been struggling a lot with the last year is like, am I just happier like hanging out
by myself
with all these great people all the time? Like, I don't know.
Okay. So,
but it's nice to have that balance too.
Of course. Of course. But what is it specifically that would change with that if you got married?
I don't think it would. I think, I really appreciate somebody who can do a lot of those things with me. Like, I love to create and always be like, I'm kind of an on the go kind of person.
Yeah.
And I do really well in like organized chaos. So if I'm always on the move, like I'm okay. I like to have home base.
Right.
But it's just been an interesting thing. Like that's what I like about being in your 30s because you're pretty
fantastic,
honest about everything. Like I just feel honest about everything. And I'm like, it's okay to not have any answers right now, but this is just how I feel.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make me feel dramatic or sad or anything.
Right.
It's just a fact.
Right. And this is what it is.
Figure it out.
Right. Mm-hmm. We deal with it. Yeah. Well, you guys sound like you communicate.
Yeah.
Which is the most important.
Number one. Yeah.
I had talked about, I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast before. Oh yeah, I did. Because I have a friend of mine who I believe is a sociopath who I had dated.
You told me all about this.
Oh, I have two that I've dated. So I'm not sure. But
which one?
This is the most recent one.
Okay.
From this year.
Okay.
And I was trying to tell him that I was trying to talk to him. And he was like, no. I said, what do you mean no? He was like, no, I don't talk. I was like, you don't have conversations about feelings? No. And I was like,
so weird.
This is important in every relationship. So it was one of those where it's just like, okay, I'm not getting through to you all. And I for sure think he has a personality disorder.
Yeah.
But but it's amazing to me because even I look at my own family and it's like, we're very happy. Like my whole my mom, dad, my sister, my nephew, we're very happy, but we don't talk about things that's very surface. You know what I'm saying? We don't talk about things that happened in the past that like clearly were traumatic for like me, my sister.
Yes.
People make mistakes. I'm sure my parents made mistakes raising us. They didn't know what they were doing. No one knows what they're doing when they're raising kids.
No,
they're
not at all.
just trying to do their best if they're good people.
Trying to keep the kid alive. Like that's basically your only job.
They're just trying to keep them alive,
keep them alive.
And so there is stuff I'm sure we need to talk about. Like going to a family like therapist would be something that would definitely be beneficial, but I don't think we're going to do it, but it's like, it's interesting, but like, it's very mature of you to tell him. Cause think about what if that made him panic and he's like, now I think that she thinks I'm not the one. Like that could have risked ending your relationship by telling him what you said.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I risked a lot of things.
If he wasn't on the same page.
I risked a lot of things in the last year and a half for sure. But I mean, that's just part of, why would you want to be with somebody who didn't understand what you were? Because eventually, sometime you will blow the fuck up.
It's going to surface
if you don't just get it out.
It's going to surface. Look at this country, for example.
Yeah.
Look at the wound, this racial wound that we have in this country. And it's like all of a sudden, it's because of our president, it has now surfaced. Like we were pretending like everything was fine when we had a black president, right? Like, oh, all these racial issues, we're bad. We have a black president. Nah, all it took was a racist president to get in office to be like, oh shit. Now everything comes to the surface.
Yeah, sometimes you need something to kind of shake things out of you. I feel like for me on my small scale of my little universe, being engaged was that.
Absolutely.
So it made me question a lot of things that I needed to question.
Right. So when you said that you are a bad fiance, like what specifically would you say, like behavior wise, have you done that is?
I'm going to kind of explain all that in there, but what I decided, what I decided that my emotional, personal roller coaster of feelings were the first few months of being engaged was like exactly the 7 stages of grief. It was like the same. It was really interesting.
That's terrifying.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was like kind of a thing. And so I kind of chaptered all that out in a funny way, but
that's great.
It isn't any specific one thing. I think it was more, I did I would say in December, I kind of felt like this rebellious phase, and I didn't want to go home with him to his family's for Christmas, so I just stayed in LA and partied. And one of my guy friends was like, "Come hang with my family this day." So
he went to his family, and you just stayed behind.
And I just flew to a bunch of places, hung out with a bunch of people.
And did that hurt him at all?
No, I don't think so. I mean, probably, but.
No, not at all. Yes, probably he was crying. Yes,
I can't lie for extended periods of time, more than a couple seconds. But I just didn't want to do the whole holiday thing, feeling the way that I felt, and I just ended up going to San Francisco and San Diego and kind of bounced around the West Coast, and it was kind of like a good woosah.
Yeah,
and then in March, I booked myself a trip to the Virgin Islands, and I didn't tell him until 4 days before I was going.
Who was on the trip with you?
Just me.
You went by yourself?
Yeah. I've been out there 4 years in a row by myself. One of my best friends lives in St. Croix.
Oh, nice.
And I've done the comedy tours there and stuff that I just keep producing. And so I booked it, and then I waited until we were out with a bunch of friends on this rooftop one day, and I was like, I'm going to St. Croix next week. And he was like, what? And so it's just really unfair things that I did to have to just kind of get time by myself.
You would describe those as selfish?
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah, that was for sure not nice.
And do you think that wanting to do the selfish behavior is in response to or reaction to being engaged? Do you think you would have done those things if he had not proposed to you? You would have gone to Christmas with him if you guys were still just dating?
I think so. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of other things too, stuff with his family. like his older brother is really pragmatic. And, you know, I'm just more of, I wouldn't say like necessarily artisty, but
spontaneous and like not structured,
adventurous, and I have a lot of goals. And you know, pragmatic people that live in the Midwest that have one job don't necessarily see the big picture.
Right.
When you work in entertainment, they're like, you're not on TV yet, so just stop.
I was literally having this conversation with people the other day.
Yeah,
they think if
like
you're not on a television show every week, that you are living in your car. Yeah. And that there's no way to support yourself in the arts if you're not on TV.
Yeah.
Or in
the biggest movie or whatever. And there you just have to be creative. I mean, we all know that as you get older and you're working in entertainment, like you just have to have a lot of different ways that you can create and make income off of it.
Right.
But so there's just those kind of things where his family doesn't necessarily like get it, you know?
Of course.
And you know, it's just interesting things. It's things that need, like, everybody that's going to get married to somebody should sort this shit out before they get married. Because you don't want to get married and all of a sudden be like,
drop
bye.
the bomb. Right. But his family, they like you? Are they cool with you?
Yeah, now.
Oh, they weren't at one point?
Yeah.
Why? Tell me this.
Oh my gosh.
Tell me this story. Because these are now going to be your in-laws.
Yes. So when I still lived in Chicago, this was in my first year of comedy. I was maybe 6 months into stand-up actually. And I was performing at this show and I was doing like 15 minutes, which is a lot when you're that young.
Absolutely. I would have been
who even knows what the fuck I talked about then, but it was at a gay club. Like the gays really liked me in Chicago. So they gave me a lot of stage time. So whatever I was doing, it was probably just some like dirty blowjob jokes.
Right.
And, oh good, Grandpa's not in the house right now. I was like, I immediately looked towards Grandpa's direction.
Waiting for his approval. Like, is that okay? Can I say that? Yeah. He's like, keep talking. Well, I hope he's not making my pancakes.
Oh God!
Sorry
we're making our own fun here, guys.
We are.
So this was probably about like 7.5 or so years ago. It was right around the holidays, and I had this show, and I knew it was in Chicago at a gay club, and I knew my fiance, who's now my fiance, was going to come, but I didn't know that he was going to bring his dad and his brothers.
Oh.
And I got shit-faced before this show because it was just like all my gay friends, they were buying me shots, and like nobody cared. It was like a safe space. And you're new in
comedy, right?
Yeah, it was a safe space for me. I got to go up and try material, and I didn't care. The only reason it was a big deal was because his family ended up showing up. And
they judged you for that.
Yeah, well, his dad is very I shouldn't say like military kind of, because that's not the right word, but like he's very scheduled. Like everything just has to like be planned.
Yeah.
So since he knew he was coming, they were at a Blackhawks game. Uh-huh. They left the game early in the third. It's not fucking quarter, but whatever you call it.
Yeah, don't look at me.
I know. I was like in the third section
like, I think it's called
the
a
hockey
dunk
game.
I
should know this. I'm from Wisconsin, but I'm failing at Wisconsinism right now.
Just say cheese, and then bring them right back.
So they left the game early, and they were speeding, and he got pulled over, got a speeding ticket.
Oh, and
then finally made it to the show, like on the brink of time, and didn't know he was walking into a gay bar. And he's just like not that kind of dude. So he already hated the environment.
Right.
Like the day was ruined already.
Because of it.
And then I get on stage and I'm hammered. And he was like, no, son, no. Like it was a whole thing. That night I was on the phone with my boyfriend, and he was basically like, I might have to break up with you. And I was like,
it was that serious.
It was that bad. And we had already known each other for 5 years. We have known each other for like 12 and a half years. It's like been a long time.
Yeah.
So I'd already known him for a long time, and I was really excited about dating him. And finally, because we had never really,
because of one set.
Yeah. So we didn't think it was gonna I just didn't think it was gonna get beyond that point. So I kind of had it in the back of my head that I would never end up getting married, because I just figured it like we would always kind of butt heads. But after like a year or two, and I'm good at making fun of myself. So like the next time I saw him, I just like ripped myself a new one. So he couldn't even do it.
Right.
That's just what you have to do. You just have to be like, I'm so shitty.
Right. So they can't. Right.
Yeah. And I made it into a joke, and, you know, and he was cool about it. I shouldn't say that they like didn't like me, but, you know, there was just kind of that air of like, so what are you going to do? for real though. You know,
They never
get
also
it.
probably because you're a woman, that has something to do with it. And also, I mean, you're a very attractive woman on top of it. And, you know, they don't ever think we can be successful in comedy.
Sure.
So, but at what point do you think you saw a shift in their, in his parents or just his dad's attitude towards you?
So 4 years ago, or 3 or 4 years ago, I was performing in San Diego, and one of his biggest clients that makes him a lot of money in Chicago was in San Diego. And I had them come to my show, and I crushed in an all clean set. And that helped a lot.
I love how, like, it's not you as a person that's making him change. It's your performances.
I'm being the only comedy competition that has mattered for me has been in my relationship.
It's like, you know, that's just the stage.
This is the big life comedy festival.
Like, what about my personally? Do you care about anything that I've accomplished?
Right?
Why are you judging who I am as a person based off my stand-up?
Right? Like, how fucked up is that? How fucked up is that? And then, when we got engaged, we were in Chicago, and then I was playing Laugh Factory Chicago, and then he came. His dad came with his new girlfriend, and then I had a really good show there too. I swear to you, the more he sees that I'm actually like good at what I do,
that should have nothing to do
it totally
with
does.
liking you.
I know. It totally does. Because I think he's got like a business, and, you know, it's always been on the table that if we wanted to move back to Chicago, that it could be taken over. And I was like, absolutely not. I don't care about money at all. Like, I don't care.
You're
if
not
there's
a gold digger.
I don't care if there's like an actual amount that you say that we could make. Like, nothing would make me want to live in a suburb of Chicago.
Right.
And
right.
Like, or do something that sucks or makes you not happy, you know?
It's so weird. Like, because I have another female friend who is married, and she talks about her in-laws and that they don't like her. And I said, why? And she said, because I'm too thin.
Stop.
I'm too thin, and they don't think I make enough money. And I'm like,
that has nothing to do with you.
That has nothing to do with you as a person. And if your husband, it's not like they're struggling. He has a great job. And it's not like she's not making anything. She's an actress, and she books gigs. But again, you know what it's like in this business. Sometimes 6 months could be great, and the next 6 months could be trash. You just don't know. I mean, it's an emotional and financial roller coaster being in this industry. But she's a good person on top of it. She's a very sweet person. And it's like, why are those are the two most superficial, too thin?
Like, who even?
What are you talking about? It's like you're just making up things to not like her about for. But it's like, and I feel like there is pressure, and I feel like a lot of the times when it is like with women, and like it's they can come up with superficial reasons not to like a woman that's dating their son.
Yeah, exactly.
For whatever, it's just because they just don't like. It's just like, just can you? But I'll take a valid reason. But if you bring up the way that I look, or something I have no control over, then obviously you're the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's insane.
It's so weird.
But you guys are cool now. Are you choking? Are you okay? She burped. She burped, guys.
I backed away from the mic. I understand how these work. I kept it internal. It was like one of those superhero movies where they like the gargantuan swallows the bomb and just like you see it explode in their chest, and they're like, "Oh, you saved everybody." I just did that to myself.
It came out.
So you asked how they feel about me now?
Yeah, like you said, but it was a performance that is what really changed.
I really feel that way. I mean, it might be more than that, but I mean, really, I'm only seeing them on holidays, and
you don't even see them.
And then also his dad had never been to LA until a couple months ago.
Yeah,
and 3 years ago, or not quite 3 years ago, it was just over 2 actually. They lost their mom. My fiance lost his mom.
Oh.
So his dad just started kind of dating again, and met a really cool woman. And so she came out to LA, and this other comic, Chris Kershaw, do you know Chris? He takes me to shoot sometimes. And this girlfriend happens to be a sharpshooter back in Chicago.
Oh, wow.
So I took her shooting with Chris.
Yeah.
And that helped too.
That helped.
The fact that I brought his girlfriend who likes guns to a gun range.
Can shoot.
So comedy and guns have changed holding my relationship together.
I just don't. It's just so much to swallow here. So how did he react when he found out that you guys were getting married? Was it like a?
I mean, he was excited. He basically is just, it just kind of feels like that. Like, as long as you're happy, son, kind of thing.
Now it's like that. It's like, as long as you're happy.
Yeah, and we
as long as you keep those punchlines up.
Yeah, as long as I keep making that buck, But yeah, I mean, I don't want to make it sound like he's not supportive. Like he's got his like moments, but yeah, it's just interesting. My family is just so different than that.
Yeah.
My parents were always like, whatever you want to do, you can do it. Just go, just do something that makes you happy. Same with my
parents, right? Very supportive.
It was never like, my parents, are you an only child too?
No, I have an older sister.
Oh, you do? Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm an only child but like my parents were, instead of stuff, they were always time focused. So I was spoiled by time, which is good because now the way that I feel connected to friends and relationships is time.
Is with time.
So that's the problem is when you travel a lot and do comedy and stuff and you're separated, it's like the lack of time starts making you feel like maybe you have your own thing,
Right. Right.
So it's just a lot of stuff to wrap your head around. But it's funny though. I had never gone to therapy in my life, and I did 2 sessions in December and in January. And I basically just said all this shit that I just said now to her. And she was like, so why are you here? I was like, I do know exactly what the problem is.
What the problem is,
And then I stopped going. So I was like, I guess I can just talk this out myself.
I had a similar, I went to therapy twice. Yeah. And I was like, I think I got it.
Yeah.
I came here to vent. And I think I've moved on.
I really was looking for I honestly was looking for her to tell me what to do, which is not their job.
I think that's what I was looking for as well. And you're absolutely right.
Yeah. I went there and I was like, so, and she's like, so.
So.
Like they absolutely cannot tell you what to do.
No, that's a liability. If they were like, well, you need to do this and then it doesn't work out, you could like sue them because my therapist told me to do this and it didn't work.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And then I was like, all right, well, I guess I just keep doing comedy and podcasting about this shit and writing about it. And that's your therapy when you work in this field.
100%.
So
when is the wedding set? You have a date right now?
We finally
and all of our listeners are invited, right?
We reset one. Yeah. Everybody's invited. It's June 15th. June 15th of next year.
Yes.
So by the time I'm married, I will have been engaged for 2 years and 1 month.
That's a long engagement.
Mm-hmm. Take your time you need. But you want to know what I did do that was spot on?
What?
I had my bachelorette party right the fuck away.
There you go.
Right after I got engaged, me and my girlfriends all went to Vegas and fucking threw down.
She was like, because this engagement might not last. I
had my bachelorette party a year and a half before getting married. A year and a half.
Let's just go ham now.
And everybody's like, well, what about bridal shower and stuff? I'm like, no, we're just going to do another bachelorette party because at this point,
you will need to have another
confused.
one. Yeah, you'll need to definitely have it. And he didn't do a bachelor party, did he?
No, not yet. I was like, we got to get this party out of the way. See, I'm a bad fiance.
I feel like that was just like I got a ring party, right? Like I got a ring. Let's go celebrate.
Oh, it was debaucherous.
Oh,
it was so fun.
What did you guys do?
No, I mean, nothing. My girlfriends are so cool. They're all basically like kind of we all just got along so well.
It was like The Hangover?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Natasha comes back to the room with a baby and a tiger.
And here's the thing is I Instagram story like the most gross parts of my life.
Oh, no.
So I was Instagram storying the whole time and man, was I blacked out for a lot of it. But at one point at this pool party, somebody stole my friend's shoe. Who steals
a shoe?
Somebody stole one of my shoes. Somebody stole my sarong. Somebody stole her shorts. So we had to walk through Caesar's Palace, each with one shoe. She had just a Hawaiian shirt on,
and
I just had a bikini and one shoe. And we were walking through the casino, laughing hysterically because we looked so wrecked.
Ridiculous.
We looked so fucked up.
But who would steal just those items?
I don't know. I mean, there was probably just a drunk person that just like came came and swooped in like a crazy person and took a bunch of shit and didn't count the items. Like one shoe, I just had to throw my shoe in the trash. Every trip I go on, I have to throw a shoe in the trash for some reason.
That's hilarious.
It's just like a thing.
I mean, that's Vegas.
It's Vegas.
It's Vegas. If you were to do another bachelor party or bachelorette party, where would you go?
I want to go to like Europe.
You doing overseas? And you have ride or die friends that would be like, we're flying overseas.
Yeah, I think so. I'm performing out there in March.
Oh, nice. Where are you performing?
In Scotland.
Oh, nice.
Starting in Scotland, but I'm turning it into a whole tour, but it's not all in the books yet. So I don't want to oversay, but I'm definitely going to do Scotland and the rest of the UK, like London and Manchester, hopefully. And then Berlin and Prague. I have some connects in Prague. So definitely those spaces. But so I'm trying to get them to come with on that. That'd be really fun.
I want to bring up now the Willem Dafoe.
Yes.
Because this was so funny to me.
It still is. It's the funniest.
So we were at the improv lab years ago now, probably 4 years ago now.
Yeah,
if not longer.
3 or 4 years ago. Uh-huh.
And it was me, Natasha, another comic named Stretch. Who else? There was another.
Christine Little.
And I always say her last name British for some reason. And she's who also other people might call her another Candice because people confuse us all the time.
Yeah.
Because, light-skinned black women, we're all the same.
Same thing. It's all the same.
So, Natasha, you tell us a story about how some guy is harassing you online.
Yeah.
But with the weirdest type of harassment.
It was, so I had this troll. I can't even talk about it without I'm going to start crying, laughing for the end of this.
This is still so funny to me.
So I had this troll, and I don't get trolled too hard a lot because I just try to keep like a positive energy, and I'm whatever. And I'm not super political, crazy person. So I keep things pretty chill. I had this troll. I don't know where they came from, but everything that I posted, he would comment about how much I looked like Willem Dafoe. And it was so serious. He was always like, you look so, I mean.
You would post like, I'm doing a comedy show at the Laugh Factory on Thursday.
Yes.
You guys should come out. And he would write,
yeah, from that angle, jawline of Willem Dafoe. Or like, he would talk about how much I looked. And at first I thought it was so funny. And I was like, if this guy is trying to troll me to make me happy, like it's working.
It's working.
Because it was, and I'm sure he was just trying to be mean.
Yeah.
But it was so ridiculous that it was so funny. And I didn't block him for like months.
Because
you just
let him keep doing
I
it.
wanted to see his comments about everything,
Right.
And then finally, I just got so annoyed of it. I was like, change your shtick, man. I finally had to block him. So shout out to you if you're out there.
We were just riffing for such a long time. And I don't remember exactly what we said, but I do remember us landing on that you were Willem Dafoe's sister,
Sheila.
who we then named Sheila. So we started calling you Sheila Dafoe.
And every time I'd stand in a gust of wind, I would just suck my cheekbones in and just make sure I looked
Look at
extra.
Sheila Dafoe. I don't like it because I get trolls sometimes. It's annoying when it's someone you know that's trolling you.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that happen?
Yes.
I know somebody who, it's a comedian that I know. He's older black dude, and he thought it was funny, and it was funny at first, like, because whenever I post a picture of like me and my sister on Instagram, and he'd be like, "Ooh, Candice, your sister is fine," blah 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 blah, and like just make a comment, and I'd be like, "Ha ha ha, very funny, whatever." And it just got to the point where he started doing it so right. Like I would just post a random post, like for my podcast or whatever. I just post a post.
Mm-hmm.
This is fine, but where your fine sister at? And like would say it so, like it's not even related. She's not in the picture. The picture was just like a comedy festival,
right?
And it's like, what are you doing? Like it got to the point where I blocked him.
Yeah,
because I'm like, you're annoying now. Like it was, and I don't. If my sister sees any of these, she's not going to want... Oh, she already... Look at you, first of all. She's not going to want to date you at all, first of all. But now after she sees how childish you are...
people get so weird with the safety of having a screen between them and like somebody else. It's so strange.
And it's like, I don't understand. Why you have nothing else to do?
Mm-hmm.
They started doing it on my Facebook post. And I said, don't make me block you on Facebook too.
That's
like,
so
what are you
weird.
Doing? He might be in his 60s. I'm not even kidding. He's definitely in his 50s. He might be in his 60s.
So he shouldn't even know how to use Instagram.
I went off on him. I made fun of him one time. Because what did he call? He called the Instagram pictures flicks.
Flicks?
He said, I saw your sister in one of them flicks. I said, whoa. Flicks? Sir, this is not the 30s.
Yeah, what the hell? Oh, that's so weird.
Like, yeah, you shouldn't have an Instagram account if you're calling pictures flicks.
At least it wasn't Polaroids. That would have
That would have been. Although they do have Polaroids again now.
I know.
And I kind of want to get them.
Mm-hmm.
She said, me too.
I'm right there with you. But trolls always make me like, I have never looked at somebody's anything, even if I didn't like it, and taken the time to write on it.
No.
If I don't like something, I just look in a different direction, you know? And I mean, I would voice my opinion to them or in a medium on my own fashion.
Of course.
Like if I want to say something, I'm going to say it myself. I'm not going to comment on somebody else's shit.
Somebody, one of the comics here was telling me that she's the chick who's staying with me in my room. She was like, after the show last night, some comic came up to her who was also on the show because his mom was in the audience.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, yeah, my mom didn't really like your stuff.
What?
But we think it's just because, you're young and she just couldn't relate to what you're talking about. And it's like, why did you feel the need to tell her that to her face?
What?
That was like a live troll.
Yeah. Like, what is it accomplishing?
I don't know.
Like, and that, I think... I don't know. I do not gravitate towards people at all that try to make somebody feel bad. Like, why would you want to do that?
And I think that was their first interaction.
Yeah.
It's not only like you know me and you're saying something negative, but like you don't even know me at all. And this is the first thing you're saying to me. That's a whole nother level of yeah. And what's your intent?
Exactly.
So of course I don't trust you. I love comedy.
I know. It's rare, though. I was talking with one of the comedy bookers that's here at the festival yesterday about this. And I said 99% of the time when I talk about other comics, it's in such a good light. Like, I love our
That's where you and I differ.
Candice just bitches and bitches. I don't know how many sociopaths she's dated, but it's a lot.
So many trash people. It's amazing that you see the good in people.
I think I just stopped paying attention to bad people or people that don't
maybe that's what it is. I legit see so many awful people, and I'm just like, it feels. I was just having a conversation with another comic the other day because he was talking about someone who was just a bad person and how he's like, this person steals bits from me. But everyone loves this person. And I'm like, I've never liked that person. And
now you'll have to tell me after this who that is.
100% I will tell you who it is. And it's just like, I can tell if someone is like, the people that I don't like that are in this industry are the ones who don't have opinions about anything.
Yeah.
That means I can't trust you. Like if I'm openly talking to you about something that is a problem or someone that is a problem, that is not even a secret. It's like someone who in the community is known to be problematic and you have nothing to say about it because that means to me like you're scared to say something because you think it's going to hurt your career.
Right.
And I'm like, already I can't fuck with you because you have no spine. Mm-hmm. And it means you won't speak up for anyone. You won't do what's right in a situation. You're just going to sit there and be like,
exactly.
Okay, like, yeah, what do you want me to do about it? Say something. Oh, you got an email from someone, I'm not going to say who it was or what the situation was, but about some shitty behavior. Did you not get this? It was someone who had done this festival before and another person had like Me Too'd her. And she sent an email this morning. I'll have to show it to you.
Yeah.
It's about someone.
What?
Yeah, I'll tell you. And it's one of those things where if she had come to me and talked to me about this person and I had no opinion on this person Me Too'ing her, she wouldn't trust me. She'd be like, why is Candice staying silent? I just told her this person like groped me and I have no opinion about it. Yeah. That to me is suspicious. Yeah. It's like, whose side are you on? Like, are you taking this person's side? And it's like, that means you don't believe me and you know what I'm saying? It's just like, there are people.
You have opinion one way or the other.
Right.
And this is what I've always said about people, like, I approach people and trusting people the same way that I approach movies. Like somebody might tell me that a movie was good or bad, but I still want to see it for myself. And make up my own opinion. So I do that with people too. I mean, I'll kind of, log different things that people have said about somebody. And if there's like 15 people that say something negative, I'm like, okay, there's probably a chance this person's a shithead.
It's probably
but I'll still make up my own opinion. It doesn't mean I'm going to get close to them.
Of course. I'll definitely for sure. But I'm going to, of course, be on alert around that person.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not going to behave differently. I'm not going to be like, oh, so-and-so said you're a shitty person. I'm not going to talk to you.
Yeah.
Like you said, I'll have my own experience with you and I'll judge you then after that. But until then, I'll be cool with you, but I'm not gonna be your friend. 100%. Yeah. But this town is full of people who just don't want to take like a stance about anything because they think if I say something negative about something, then I won't be able to have this opportunity and this opportunity. It's like, but what do you stand for?
No, there's a bunch of opportunities.
Absolutely.
Just stand your ground.
Yeah, no, this person I'm talking about is a clinger, like a person who just like
ladder climbs.
Yep.
I've seen that plenty in comedy. Yeah, I probably know who you're talking about.
Speaking of ladder climbs, there was a ladder at the climb at the
above the foam pit.
Did you do that today at the?
I did it last year.
Trampoline pit.
I did it last year.
But. I jumped into that foam pit and immediately regretted it.
It doesn't feel good in there.
It doesn't feel good. Also, I saw hair.
I want to tell you a story. When I was in Second City in Chicago, this was probably like 8 years ago. There was this guy who was in Second City class with me who lived in the suburbs of Chicago, and he had a huge crush on me. And sometimes I would take the train out into the suburbs and hang out with him and his friends because he was just like this sweet kind of like chubby guy. He's not chubby anymore. He ended up getting super ripped, probably because I didn't like him. But
he was like, I'll show her.
But I'd go hang out with him and his friends, and his friend owned a CrossFit gym. So I guess he eventually got into CrossFit.
Okay.
They had a foam pit in it, and we came one day.
A foam pit in a CrossFit?
Yeah, it was like a foam pit. You could learn to do like flips and stuff. It was a giant gym. It was like a X something gym, but they had like a CrossFit section, and I hadn't even heard of CrossFit yet. It was a long time ago.
Brand new.
It was probably like 10 years ago, actually. This specific day, they were cleaning out the foam pit.
Oh, so they do clean those things
sometimes, and the bottom of that thing had like
in it. Ew. Hold on.
So many Band-Aids. There was a smashed mouse.
What?
A smashed, fully pancaked mouse that had just been smashed to death. It was like
a thin animal.
It was like a thin paper.
That's how smashed he was?
He was smashed. I didn't even think that could happen.
It was like a steamroller just went over him.
Like a fucking cartoon. And a lot of other shit, like old socks and stuff. Like it was bad. And the foam pits hold nothing joyful.
No. And that's why I was like, I wanted to take a shower as soon as I left the trampoline park. But then I get back and then maid is like, going into my room to clean. And I was like, so I'm still in my nasty trampoline wear.
We got to get you back so you can change for dinner.
Absolutely. But yeah, I was in there. I saw hair. And I was like, ooh, I'm not coming. And I was trying, and it felt like foam quicksand. Like I couldn't, after I did like a front flip into it, and I was like, I can't get out. It was like foam quicksand.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And it was starting to pull my socks off. I was like, I don't like this. I feel like someone's dead under there.
Yeah.
I feel like a child got sucked in there and there's still a body down there.
That's why I didn't take any jewelry, because last year I jumped in and I was like, I'm going to lose all
You're going to lose.
All of it's coming off.
Yeah.
Can feel it.
Yeah, no, there's definitely, I feel like there's a disease that doesn't even exist anymore that's in that foam pit. I feel like you would dive in and you come out with cholera. Oh yeah, I feel like I just talked about. Yeah, did we talk about Oregon Trail when I had Zainab on?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you leave with dysentery.
Yo,
Candice has died. I think that's it. Are we done? We had such a fun time today, Natasha. Thank you for coming.
I love
Mal,
Candice.
thanks for being here.
In spirit. We just have an empty chair.
In memoriam for Mal. This was fantastic. Thank you. Plug your social media one more time for everybody.
Okay, so my Instagram and Twitter is at NPH Comedy, and NPH standing for Natasha Pearl Hansen, not miles per hour or any of the other shit that people confuse it with.
Yeah.
My podcast is called Future Role Model, and that's also with the same network as Candice's. which is super fun. And
Comedy Pop-Up.
On Instagram at Future Role Model. And you can just find all my shows and stuff on those, or I have a website. But nobody goes to websites anymore. So
they don't. I know.
They just don't.
They don't. So what's the point? Like, why am I paying this?
Exactly.
And also, if you want any fitness inspiration, also, if you want to look at a body to work towards, if you're a woman, then Natasha. She will inspire you to work out. I'm telling you, I saw you on that obstacle course today, and I was like, I got to work on these abs. I got to work on these abs. So thanks, guys, for listening to The Struggle with Candice Thompson. You can find me at Jokes by Candice on social media, CandiceThompsonComedy.com for all my shows. And if you have not rated and reviewed us on iTunes, please do that. It really makes a difference. And if you listen to this regularly and you haven't told someone about it, do us a solid and pay it forward. And if you are new to the podcast and enjoying it and haven't told somebody, do it. Till next time.